Good morning, everyone. It's Anne. I'm turning on my comments now, so you can say good morning if you're out there. Hi, Jean. How are you? Is it Jeannie? Jean Ann? Welcome, welcome. We will hang out here for a little bit until the top of the hour. So if you're out there, you can give a little thumbs up or say good morning, just to let me know we have some people out there listening. Jean, oh, thank you. Thank you, Jean. All right, so we have a few people out there. That's nice. So we'll be hanging out here for a little bit until we get to the top of the hour, and then I'll go ahead and get started. I didn't post any notes today. There's going to be something that'll be posted either later today or tomorrow about this subject, so I'm just going to wait for that to come out. It's not really needed for today's class. All right, we're getting there. So if you just joined us and you're new, we usually hang out here for about 5 minutes till the top of the hour, and then we get started. So welcome if you're new, and if you've been coming back time and time again, welcome and thank you for joining me. I'm Anne Hine, just one of the many Janome educators. All right, let's see if my comments are working today. Well, there they are. All right. We got Cindy there and Diane, welcome, and Sandy, welcome, welcome. Catherine, sunny Germany, very nice. Hi, Sandra, welcome, welcome. We're getting there. We're under the 2-minute mark now. Hi, Diane and Sally. Marja, welcome. Yeah, we have a very sunny day here. I think we're going to get, yesterday we were in the 50s. So same thing here. I think we're going to have some nice warm day. Hi, Zahara, welcome. And June, and we have Marty. Yeah, no notes today, Marty. I'll explain it when we go live. When you get to see me, I'll explain that part. Jane, welcome. And Annabelle, welcome, welcome. So, yeah, we have a little bit of an exciting topic today, so that'll be fun. Hi, Dee, welcome. Hi, Anna. Welcome, welcome. Yeah, so here we go, getting under the 1-minute mark. Hi, Dee, welcome. All right. So we have quite a few people watching. That's very nice. Thank you for tuning in as we count down to the top of the hour. Let's see what's happening here. Hi, Peter. Welcome. And Sharon, welcome, welcome. Is it Olivier? Olivier, is that how you pronounce it? I am terrible with names. I used to do some announcing at our local pool for the swim meets occasionally. And the kids that swam, they would laugh because I would really mess up their names sometime. But anyways, I apologize if I pronounced it wrong. Good morning, Teresa. Welcome, welcome. All right, so here we are. Let me put the camera on. Hi, everybody. Welcome. If you're new, I do have a loyal fan. I'm Anne Hine, and I am one of the Janome educators from Janome America. And if you didn't know, Janome has, each country or area has their kind of company. So it's many companies under the Janome umbrella. So I'm with Janome America, or actually Janome North America. We're Canada and America together. So that's kind of cool. But we all like each other and other countries. I know we have a lot of help from our UK counterparts, Peter Barrett and Anne from over there. So they've been very helpful. And then there's some other people that are on here too. So welcome everyone. Today we're going to be talking about finding designs in kind of unusual places. And Peter told me about this and I played with it a little bit. But what I had to do is, because I like to get everybody in the same way, I found how to do it on my PC. And then I had to go on my Mac and figure out a way to kind of show some things over there. So I did find it. I did find some of these things in the Mac, but they are PC oriented. And what we're going to do today, this is going to be, might be hard, I don't know. I'm going to switch back and forth from my PC, we're going to start there, to my Mac. So at some point I'm going to have to, close the software, log out the key, wait a little bit, and open it all up on my Mac. Cross our fingers that it all works. So, I hope so. Could be disaster, but we'll make it work no matter what. All right, so let me see what's happening out here. Everybody's chiming in. Welcome, welcome. So I just want to bring you up to date on a couple of things, and I'll mention them a little bit later too. Next week, I'm going to be on the Janome Sewing Machine page on Friday at 3 o'clock Eastern Time, 3 p.m. Eastern Time, on the Janome Sewing Machine page. That's the main Facebook page. I'll be doing, last time I did navigating on the sewing and embroidery side. This week, I'm going to do just the embroidery side. So if you have a Janome embroidery machine, you might want to chime in. I do demo on the 15, but it is appropriate to the other machines too. They're all very similar, and I'll point out some differences there. So that's where I'll be. Besides here twice next week, I'll be over there too. All right, so I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to switch over to my PC. I just have to switch the screen actually, and we're going to start there. And I don't know if all of you are familiar with where these designs are, but let's just take a look at that part of it. So let me get in here and we'll go there. And let's see if I can get it to do the right thing. There we are. All right, so we're going to start right here in Word. And if you have Microsoft Word 10, you'll find these. I don't know if they're in other places too, but where we're going to look for designs, and you have to forgive me, I have to video my PC. I can't do a direct stream like I do on my Mac. So I'm sorry, I'm kind of standing behind a camera and the camera is filming my screen. So it might be a little hard to see, but this is Windows when you open it. And then right up here under Insert is where we're going to go. So right up here, there's the word Insert. So if you have a PC and you open up a Word document, right at the top here, you're going to see File, Home, and Insert. So we're going to go there first, and I'm going to show you what's there. There we go. So when you open that, you're going to get let me go back to Home. So you can see your Home just has your alphabet and all that kind of stuff here. But Insert, right next to Home, has where your shapes are, your smart art, all that kind of stuff that you want to bring into the program. But right here are icons. And I'm going to open that up so you can see. Aren't these neat? There's all types of them. And I'll click through on some of these. There's the travel ones. There's medical, some interface ones, some on the arts. These are really cute graphics that you can use very easily in the Artistic Digitizer program. So I want to let everyone know I do watch for the comments, and I will be checking those from time to time. And if I missed your question, you can ask it again, or if or you can post it again on here, or I'll answer it after I come back after lunch. And there was a question about a handout. I did not do a handout today. There's going to be a handout coming out on this from the UK. They're going to give me a handout on that. So we'll be posting that. I didn't want to post the notes today. I was actually fiddling around back here. So anyways, I didn't think you needed notes for this. I think this will be pretty self-explanatory once you get the other thing. All right, so these are all kinds of cool little icons that are in here, signs and symbols, all kinds of things there, analytics, maybe some are boring and some are more fun. So you have these nature ones. These are quite fun to play with. There's also some of those cutout people you can play with. There's these stickers, so we're going to play with a little bit with these stickers. These are kind of fun things to play with too. So they have some stickers in here that you can play with. There's illustrations in here. These are fun to play with too. So you can use all of these with Artistic Digitizer, and you can use them fairly easily. Alrighty, so let me show you how this is going to work. And we're going to start with something that's a little bit easier. Let me get out of here and go to icons. And we will pick, let's see, I wanted to go to, are we in nature? There we go, in nature. And I'm going to pick, let's see what we have. I was looking for a shamrock because it is St. Patrick's Day, but we don't have a shamrock, but we do have a hat with a shamrock on there. So that was under, let me see if I can find that one when I was looking. I think we have holidays. Let's see here, bugs. Ooh, bugs. See, every time I look, there's something new. What's under bugs? Look at those. Ooh, we got our bees in here. These would be fun. So let me show you how easy this is. We're going to use this one down here because we're getting close to St. Patrick's Day. So I'm going to select this. And then at the bottom of the page, it says Insert. And then when it inserts, it opens right to my Word document. So there it is. And now from here, I just have to take it into, is there a shamrock in the clip art library? I was trying to look there. So here we have our graphic here. And I'm just going to right click on it and copy. And then I'm going to open Artistic Digitizer. I have it open down here at the bottom. And I have a new page. I opened a new page. And I'm just going to right click and paste. And let me bring this up so you can see it. I'll put it up in this corner. There we go. So that is Stitches. It really is in Stitches. So let me zoom in so we can see that up close. See, you can see those stitches. Now, if you wanted to pull off this piece here, what you could do, and you can change all of these, you can change these stitches to something else, by using your patterns over here. Maybe you want something like that. It's going to be hard to see in black what I did, but it changed the fill to a different type of fill. But if I wanted to use this part right here, I could easily go to my Digitize tool and use that magic wand. Remember, we used that a couple times back, and I could just pop in here. It makes that shape for me. I'm going to select that shape. I'm going to put it over here on the side, and we'll scroll over so you can see. So it's over here now, and I can cut off the shamrock if I want to. And again, I would use the knife tool. So I would come over here to Outline Shape. I would scroll in like this. I could put a line across here like that and shape. And then I want to make sure I'm selecting my line, and then I'm going to hit Shift and click on my graphic. So everything there is selected. And then I'm going to right click, and there's the knife. And then I should have let's move this part out of the way. Now I have my shamrock. And of course, I can play with this even more. I could turn it into my fill. I could make it a satin fill, and then I could come over to Stitch Flow, and I could use Divide, and I might want to put drag a divide in here to kind of make those a little bit more shapely. So you could do a lot of things. You can leave it as a step fill if you wanted. I could put it as a step fill and fill it in that way. So that's kind of fun. Oh, in the library, I did type in Shamrock and it didn't show up. I'll have to double check. All right, so there's always ways to get around to finding new designs. So let me show you another one that's in there, because I thought this one was quite fun. I'm going to open my Word document again, and I'm just going to delete this one. I'm going to go back to my insert, and I'm going to go to icons, and I'm going to use one of the stickers. I think that's what I wanted. And then we'll just do a sticker, and then we'll use an illustration. So they're about the same. So here's this little kind of bee guy. I think he's kind of funny. Maybe I'll pick this one here. I'm going to select him. I'm going to hit Insert. And I'm going to try something too. I'm going to go right to my page and see what happens. Do I have to save it, or can I just come right over here? Let's see what happens if I do paste. All right, it has my last one in there. So I can't go directly, but I can go back to my Word document. I can right-click on my piece. I can do copy, and then I can go back to my digitizer, right-click and paste, and let's see what happens here. I get the image window. Because this is a different type of file, it's going to give me the image window, and I can do other things with it. So I'm going to auto-digitize this, and I don't need all of this background, so I'm going to bring it in a little bit like that. And then once I do that, when you bring in any image, first you do that part, and then you're going to hit OK, and you're going to get the trace image window. And in this window, this is where I will choose my accuracy. And I typically leave it at 5. Sometimes I will change it. You have to play around it. We've played with that before. So you want to play with, sometimes going up makes it look better. It gives it more stitch points. If you click here, you can see all the stitch points, or the nodes that are in here. So if you clicked up further, you'd get more nodes. And it takes a minute, and it'll add more nodes. So sometimes that's good, sometimes it isn't. So you just have to, it's a hit or miss kind of play kind of thing. And then my color limit, I'm going to do a color limit of, let's see, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. How about, why don't we do 10? We'll just ballpark it at 10. There we go. Oops, let's get a 10 in there. I have to reach around my camera and not hit the camera. Here we go. So we're going to hit trace. And there he is on my workspace. Let me bring him up a little bit, and we'll zoom in. Now, he's all selected. I can see in my tools down here, my used colors, that everything's selected. So if I clicked off and wanted just the background, it collects everything. So I could right-click and ungroup. So here I could click on this part and delete it. Now I do have a little piece right here. You're seeing a shadow. That is that's the image. So let's go back up here to view, and we'll hide our backdrop. There we go. And if I want to remove this little white part here, if I just delete it, oh, it did open it up. All right, sometimes when you delete, and I'll show you one of those, it fills back in. That's where you need to select your item, right-click, shaping, and trim. That would handle that part of it, okay? All right, let's see, here we go. Oh, I guess I was in an area that had shamrocks. Okie dokie. All right, so there we go. He's kind of cute, and I could come in here, and again, I could change things like this, his mouth. Maybe I wanted a satin, and then I could fix that. Now, right now, my fabric choice is smooth. If I go to a different fabric choice, maybe if I go back to my normal, I get more stitches, and you can see it's more filled in now with normal. So I could go through and play with the different parts here and change it and add to it, make it however I want, and use this little graphic. So I think these are pretty cool, and I'm so excited that Peter showed me these. I'm all about finding things that you can use with your program that are easy to find. I always say I'm not the artist, but I can take other things and create with them that way. So this is a lot of fun for me. This is really a lot of fun. So let's go back to the Word document, wherever I put it. Here we go. And I'm going to delete this one. Let's go back in there to our icons. And I want to look at the illustrations because I want to show you a little something I did earlier that I thought was really cute. This little fox guy right here, I think he's a fox, yeah. I'm going to bring him in. Again, he's going to come in. You'll have to copy him and then go to your software. Let's get a new page. I'm going to right click and paste. And let me bring him up here for you. There he is. And he came in right as Stitches. I didn't have to do anything to him. He's actually an SVG file. If I saved this, when I went to save it because I brought it over to my Mac, he's actually an SVG. So under illustrations, those are SVG files, and they convert right over to the software. You don't have to do an image window with them. Some things you have to do the image, sometimes you don't. So again, in here, I can go ahead and he's all grouped. I can ungroup him. So I'm ungrouping, and that lets me play with the different parts of him. And again, I could come over here to my properties, and I can change the type of stitch on his face and make it a little, give it a little definition maybe that way. I could come in here and use my stitch flow tools if I wanted to, but I want to work on this tail. I did something really cool with the tail. So I went in here and I selected the tail, and I can do either right click or I can come up here and I'm going to do auto border. And I'm going to do it to the outside to a running stitch, and I'm going to select OK. And then I'm going to come over here and I'm going to give my running stitch a decorative stitch, and I picked this one here. So there's his little tail now. It has a little fuzzy stuff on it. But what I did is, remember we were doing sequencing on Monday? If you checked in on Monday, if you checked in on Monday, we talked about sequencing. So I want to select just this part here, and I can see right down here I've selected my line, and I'm going to right click, I'm going to go to order, and I'm going to move it to the back of the design. And when I do that, it just puts the fuzzies on the outside of that tail. So maybe I just want the outer part to be fuzzy and maybe not the part that's in here. So you can use your decorative stitches to your advantage. You could even offset that more so it is underneath there, so you wouldn't have so much of this design, or there's other designs in there, to sort of feather the edge of that and make it look more fur-like. So you have those options, which I think are fun. So let me look at the comments. What do you guys think of that? Are you excited about that? You can just do some thumbs up if you want. I think it's really very, very interesting. It's very easy to do. It's giving us a whole new area. I'll go back and look. A whole new area of designs to look at and to play with. Let's see what people are saying. I think people are liking that. Good. Yeah, so if you're ever, looking for something, you can just come right in here and look for designs in here that you might want to work with. And they're quite fun. They are quite fun, and there's a lot of them. You don't have to be you don't have to be in your you don't have to be an artist. So someone just asked where these are from. So I am actually in my PC, and this is a Word document. So I opened a Word document, and then when you open your Word document, right up here on the top, you have the normal things. And when you want to insert something into your Word document, you would come here to insert, and then right here you have icons. And then you can open your icons, and there they are. You have images. You probably could play with some of these too, and these might look good in Paint Stitch. I didn't really play with any of these with Paint Stitch, but there's some really, ooh, this might look neat. Oh, that would look neat too in Paint Stitch. So there's some really neat things in here that you could use for Paint Stitch. Here's the icons I was talking about, and there's all different topics here. And to use these, you just select them, hit Insert. You can resize it here or on your page. then you right click on it, and I do copy. Then I'm going to go to my here, and I'm going to open and let's see. Maybe I'll put them on the same page. There we go. And we'll paste it here. So there's my little piece here. Let's bring it up. We'll bring it off to the side here so you can see, and then I'll move my screen. There we go. So this is stitches. And of course, you know, if I wanted to change the colors on here, that has selected everything. So I probably need to do ungroup, and then I have just that piece. I could come over to my colors. I could make it a sunny yellow, and then I could change all of those. These are connected to the ground. So if I wanted them a different color, I would use my knife tool to cut them off. Does that make sense? Well, I think, Paula, I think these are new with Windows 10. I think that's what these are with Windows 10. Because I don't remember seeing them either, and I use Windows a lot. I actually do some of my designing in PowerPoint because I don't have Adobe or any of those other things. So sometimes I'll work in PowerPoint. Years ago when I worked for the city, the gal I worked for, she said, "Oh, here, make a file or make this little thing, a poster." I had to do all these posters. She was, "Here, do it in PowerPoint." So I would go into PowerPoint because you can lay things on top of each other a lot easier than in Word, and if you don't have those other types of things. So that I do some things in PowerPoint also. All right, so this is how it is on when you're in the PC and you have Word. Now, when you're over in your Mac, you don't have Word, right? You have other things over there. You do have documents. So what I'm going to do, and this is the scary part, so I'm actually just going to close these things. And, well, you know what? Let me do this. Maybe I'll just, well, I'm going to take this one. I'm going to delete this one. And I'll save the little dog, or this little guy. Maybe he'll be in my, let's do that. Do save as, and I'll put him in my folder today. Remember last week we were talking about organization, so I have a folder. We'll go over that. Right here's my working folder, and in there I have my AD classes folder, and within there I have my 2 class folders, and I'm going to go to create it and then create 8. And this is, I'm going to turn it into a draw file. I'm going to rename it here, Fox, and then I can play with it at any time. This would be something I could probably turn into clip art also if I wanted to. Let's see if we can, let's see how that works. Do you want to see that? I'll give you a little bonus today. Create clip art. All right, so I want to drag him. I think I want to drag him this way. What the heck? There he is, and we'll see what happens. It doesn't look like he has a name in there. I don't think it worked. Let me see. Yeah, it's not picking that up. I'll have to play around with that part of it. Could be I have to do something with it. And anyways, we'll come back to that, creating those. Some of those you have to do other things with. So I have my designs. Let me close all my windows and close that. Yeah, I'll discard that. And then close this one. There we go. Now I'm going to close my software, because that's what we do. And then I'm just going to minimize I'm going to bring up my key, and I will switch over to the iPad, or to my Mac. So hold on one moment, because I'm going to change over here and give you this view for a little bit while I pull up my key. And I log out. Got to wait for it to show up, because my software is not always all that closed. Here we go. There we go. Now it's closed. Log out. Always want to make sure you close that software. Don't just minimize. You need to close it, and then you can open it on your on another computer. So that's what I'm going to do over here. I have you guys on just my machine screen here. So I'm going to be, I got to open my key and show on my Mac and activate. There we go. And then I'm going to try to open my software. Sometimes when you're switching back and forth, if you're too, yeah, see, it wants me to wait. I have to wait a little bit here. Let's try again. That's not what I wanted to do. Uh-oh. Let's see here. That's not what I wanted. Ah! Hang on one second. I'm trying to get my screen to minimize, and it's not doing that. So, let's do this. Let's go there. And while you guys are waiting there, hang on one second while I try to close my, I don't know why I don't know what to do to get my screen down. Let's see. All right, so you Mac people, my screen is stuck at full size, and I'm not sure what I touched to bring it back down. Yeah, it is running because I opened it on my, on this, what you're seeing over here, oh, let me close that. What you're seeing over here is just my PC. And yeah, I can't close, I'm trying to close my Mac. Ah! All right, let me see if let me do this. Let me go here. Hang on one second. I knew there's always like a little bit of something that happens, and my software's not here. Let's see, where did it go? This is bizarre. Let me go to, all right, so we may have to do something different because I cannot, let me log this out. Okay. All right, so what I'm going to do, this is bad. I apologize. I'm going to talk you through what happens on a Mac. Let me see if I can get my camera back on me. Let's see what happens. There we go. All right, so this is what we're going to do. I apologize. I don't know how to get my screen to collapse. So when you go to your Mac, what you want to do, there's a icon that says Pages. So you want to open Pages, and at the bottom of Pages is New Document. And when you click on New Document, it opens up a window similar to what we had in Word, but across the top, you'll see a tab that says Shapes. And in Shapes, you'll get those little icons also. And you can do the same kind of thing. You can, what you would do there is you click on it and click Copy, and then you go to your workspace and click Paste, and it'll come in. Sometimes you get an image window like we had before, and you just work through your image window on there. Other than that, it's pretty simple on that part of it. All right, so do we have some, oh, those icons are only on, yeah, they're on Windows 10, and they're the, or yeah, 365. I think that's what it is. Let me just see. I know, switching back and forth it's always, it's always a little bit of a nerve-wracking thing. And I did it several times last night, but today I'm not sure what happened. So I have to figure that out, and I apologize for that. But we'll be using these again. So, And what I can do, because I have both computers, I can save the icons over there in Word. I can save them in my as a file in my as a draw file, or or even as a as a document file, like a SVG. I could save those and use them in my Mac that way too, since I have both. I'm available with that. But I just wanted to let you guys know there's just one more spot, maybe two now, to find more things to play with, where you can be very, very creative with something that's right in front of you. You don't have to create it right from the base and go up from there. So anyways, hopefully you like that. I'm going to just check here to see if there's any things going on. Yeah, I've tried to click and minimize. I just have a whole black screen behind me. So I don't know what's going on with that. And then when I pulled up my my Launchpad, my software is not on the Launchpad, so I'm not sure what happened with that. So, these things happen. I'll figure it out. I know who to ask for help if it goes on. So there is going to be a document on doing this. I believe Peter's going to post it to the UK page, I think tomorrow. It's going to go up tomorrow because they're ahead of us. They're a little later in the day than us. So it's going to go tomorrow to their the Janome UK webpage. So you can go there. There's all those documents that are there already are in our page. I brought them over. They're not all in the guides. I don't think they're all in the guides yet. I still have to bring them over, and I'm bringing them over slowly. So all those worksheets that are already over there are in our files, or most of them, they're being moved over to the guides. And then you can wait. I'll be bringing the other one over too. So let me see what's over here, and if there's anything else. Let's see. No, you have to open a new document, Teresa. At the bottom, it says new document. And then when you open a new document, you'll get pages. Let me see if it'll. It's not letting me open it up. Let me see here. Okay, so yeah, when you open pages at the bottom, there's a little where it says documents. Click on documents. All right. Yeah, I have the same hiccups you guys have, so that's how it is. All right, so I'm going to let you guys go. I may do a little thing on the Mac, a little quick video just to show you how to go to pages and how that all works once I get things back on my screen. So we'll go from there. So I can do a little follow-up video on that part of it. And then next week I'll be here Tuesday and Thursday. I don't know what I'm doing yet. I have something in mind that I kind of special that I want to do. So I have to work out some kinks this weekend and see how that all goes. So we'll be doing that. So check in on Tuesdays, a skill builder. And of course, we're going to do create it on Thursday. And then I think as we go along, probably in April or May, I might go to an every other week kind of thing, depending. I have a little bit of a travel schedule now. So I may be in and out. So we'll have to work around that part. I may be doing some things on location. Who knows? All right, everybody, have a great day. Enjoy it. Get out in the sunshine if it's out there. And we'll be sure to see you again sometime. And I'll be on the Janome Sewing Machine page on next Friday, the 5th. Bye, everybody. Have a great day.